You've delivered urgent document.
Sea cliffs in South England. What struck me was things were really good at the time, and I was spooked by the sudden thought of how easy it would be to jump, how fun it would feel falling. For a while after, I changed the route home to avoid the cliffs and never forgotten how intense that feeling was, but not in a bad way, which is probably what scared me. I've been meaning to make some sort of video about the Call of the Void for quite a while now, but I seem to be unable to, and I don't really know why. I think it has to do with the fact that the phenomena in and of itself is pretty vague and hard to explain.
The Call of the Void, a peculiar phenomenon that plagues the depths of our human psyche. Picture this. You're standing on the edge of a towering precipice, gazing down into the vast abyss below. Your heart races, your palms perspire, and an inexplicable thought whispers within your mind. It's as if an otherworldly force tugs at the very fabric of your being, tempting you to succumb to an unthinkable act. This, my friends, is the Call of the Void. But fear not, for the truth of the matter is that you are not alone in experiencing this peculiar sensation. The Call of the Void is a manifestation of our own human...
When I was 6 years old, McDonald's opened in my hometown. I remember this being a pretty big deal. They had this big tent outside with like Lego that you could build, and they had some sort of deal where you got this like souped up version of a Happy Meal. It was like a more impressive toy in there. It's like a bit bigger, a bit more complex, and you got both nuggets and a burger, and I just remember it being this big deal for the town. But for some reason, what really stuck with me was an interaction I had with my mom on my way home. We were walking on this bridge over a body of water, and as we did, I turned my head and I looked through the metal bars down at the water below, and suddenly I was overtaken by this strange, strong urge. I remember it very vividly. I turned to my mom and I said, "It's a little scary sometimes to walk on bridges like this, cause..." And without skipping a beat, she interrupted me and said, "Because you feel like you could suddenly jump?" I looked up and she had turned her head towards me and she was smiling. "Yeah," I replied. "But it's not like I want to jump or anything." She turned her head forwards, kept walking, and very nonchalantly said, "No, I know. It just feels like it could suddenly happen against your will. But it won't." And that was that, really. We didn't talk about it anymore after that. But for some reason, as I said, it really, really stuck with me. Because I think, honestly, I was blown away by the fact that she knew exactly what I was talking about. Like this vague feeling that I have such a hard time describing today, let alone back then when I was 5 years old. This vague feeling of, I don't wanna do it, but for some reason I feel this like strong, not urge, but like instinct to hurl myself over this bridge. Because the only way she could know that I felt this super specific feeling would be that she could feel that feeling too. That she also had the instinct, that she also heard the call. I was visiting Yellowstone in winter. Paths around the hydrothermal areas were slick with ice and folks have died in the thermal features. Walking carefully along paths that sometimes didn't have handrails or safety barriers, I often felt that impulse to just take a step into those colorful, dangerous pools.
Listen, are you tired of the monotony of existence? Are you yearning for a glimpse into the abyss? Well, my friends, look no further. Do I have the thing for you? Introducing The Void. I don't even need to ask. I know you're ready to escape the banality of your mundane routine. But folks, that's all in the past. From now on, you can just dive into the void and surrender to its never-ending, all-consuming oblivion of uncomprehensive nothingness. It's an experience that will surely leave you trembling with existential dread. But you don't have to take my word for it, just listen to these testimonials. Ever since I unlocked the void, a chilling emptiness has consumed me. It's like being trapped in eternal darkness. The void has shattered my perceptions. It's a constant haunting reminder of the insignificance of our existence. Within the void, I've found solace in the absence of purpose. It extinguished the flame of hope within me. The void has stripped away all meaning from my life. I've stared into the abyss and there's nothing beyond. Thanks, void. So there you have it. You heard it here first. The void defies comprehension, effectively plunging you into an abyss of eternal emptiness. And the best part is, it's already inside of you. All you have to do is recognize it. Dare to face the void within. But wait, there's no escape. Order right now and for no additional charge will include a... So what are you waiting for? There's no point in delaying, for time itself crumbles within the void. Call the number on your screen right now and embrace the terrifying clutches of the void.
I'm driving or riding in a car on a decently crowded section of highway where the cars are going fast. I could just release my seatbelt, open the door and roll out into traffic. Waiting on heavy cross traffic or for people to cross the road at an intersection. What if my foot slipped off the brake and hit the gas right now? Standing on a high-ish cliff in a state park that's large and decently foliage covered. A random gust of wind, my knee giving out, or just an accidental misstep and I could go tumbling down. What if I just jumped? What would happen? Would anyone find me? Sitting in the car in my garage, waiting for a song or the chapter in the audiobook to finish. What if I fell asleep in here? Waiting on an amusement or carnival ride to start. I could just disconnect my seatbelt after they do the checks. What is alarming about these thoughts to me isn't that they occur, but it's the way they almost seem to begin happening. Thinking about swerving into traffic, the car seems to slightly veer towards the center automatically. It's probably no more than it would have in the course of normal driving, but because of the visceral reaction against the intrusive thought, it seems excessive. Thinking about suddenly falling from a cliff, the ground seems a little more loose. The wind seems stronger and my knees a bit weaker or shaky. The smell of exhaust in the garage seems a little stronger than normal. The railings on bridges seem a bit lower or more wobbly. The caps on good smelling but definitely deadly cleaning chemicals seems looser and easier to open. The fences at the zoo seem a little weaker. The walk-through tunnel at the shark exhibit at the aquarium seems a little thinner, more prone to breaking. The world around us is almost safe. There are rules and regulations and safety features built in, but I always question, how well maintained are they? How often do they just provide the illusion of safety? I don't go into situations looking for danger. These thoughts occur and then I start looking around at what could happen.
Good evening and welcome back to another video. I'm Skeleton Ghoul and you're watching Scream. Spooky, a scary video on the internet. Where we last left off, we had just learned about the call of the void. So now that we all know what it is, what we have left to do is to figure out why it happens. During my research investigation, I stumbled on several Reddit comments and posts on the anonymous image board forged that all refer to the same possible explanation. One of the most frightening things I've ever heard is when someone pointed out that the existence of the uncanny valley implies that at some point there was an evolutionary reason to be afraid of something that looked human, but wasn't. And if this is in fact true, this terrifying realization begs the question, what could it possibly have been that made us so spooked? Thank you for watching. I have updated the merch links in my description to now include several epic hats.
So when I was a younger kid, around 6th grade, I'm American, so 7th year of school, I was waiting for the school bus. There was a piece of wood on the side of the road that had a rusty nail sticking out of it. This was a country road just outside of a small town, and it was the last weeks of winter in central New York. All of the ice and snow were melting away. It was there for days, and eventually my child brain just said, "Step on it." I walked over wearing my boots and just slowly stepped on the nail until it went into my foot. I do not know why I did it. I knew it would hurt me. I knew what lockjaw is, but I did it anyway and ended up with a hole in the dead center of my soul. I really remember how much walking hurt on that foot for the days that followed. I never told my parents how my foot actually got hurt, but I still sometimes think about what in the world possessed me to do such a thing. Regardless of how infatuated I may be with the idea of the call of the void being some otherworldly force or perhaps some integral core of the human psyche urging us to succumb to our darkest impulses, I can't help but think that that may be an unfair analysis, like judging a book by its cover, kinda. I mean, sure, the call does imply that I should be jumping off of buildings and throwing myself in front of trains and swallowing sharp objects, but It's also asking of me to embrace the unknown, something that I've become intimately familiar with over the last year since quitting my job to give this whole YouTube thing a go. In a way, I'd like to think that it was the call of the void that convinced me to abandon the safety of convention and dive headfirst into whatever this uncertain sort of life I'm living right now is. I was at my last job for about 4 years. I had gotten pretty used to a steady income, the safety that comes with full-time employment, and I'm gonna try to not sound too self-pitying here, but I was not happy. I woke up with a pit in my stomach every morning, and in the evening I fell asleep with that same pit. And the only time that I felt good, really, was between 5 and 8 p.m. Because those were the hours when I could do this. That's when I wrote down my thoughts, that's when I recorded voiceover, edited videos, animated, filmed, color graded, and just created, I guess. I knew I had to get out, but as you probably understand, that comes with huge risks. But luckily I found myself in the extremely fortunate situation where I could move in with my partner, and with a couple of $100s that I would make a month, combined with her income and the relatively cheap rent on her apartment, we could afford for me to take a couple of years off and try this stuff. Try being my own boss. Try living off of the only thing that I've ever felt that I want to do, and the only thing that I think I can do. And again, I think that perhaps the force that brought me here was the call of the void. As of about a month ago, my partner transitioned into freelancing. Unfortunately for us, the freelancing landscape is pretty dry right now, and this means that we've suddenly ended up in a pretty rough spot, to be honest. We don't really know what to do currently. We don't know what our future holds, and if this YouTube thing don't start picking up speed soon, I'll have to start considering the option that perhaps I simply weren't as good at this as I thought, and I'll have to do something else. But at least I tried, right? And I probably wouldn't have done that if I hadn't felt the urge, if I hadn't felt that longing, that call to embrace the void.
Experiencing the call of the void does not mean you're destined to act upon these strange urges. Oh no, it's quite the opposite. Acknowledge these thoughts as passing ripples on the vast ocean of your consciousness. Recognize them for what they truly are. A reminder of the preciousness of life. A reminder to cherish every breath and every moment.